What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So now we're on episode 12 of the Killin It Resurrection. We ended the last video. We finally got old Killin It over the mad scientist's home laboratory. Oh, brother. What a freaking victory that was. Freaking big deal. Freaking, for one, the truck actually made it over there under its own power. Yeah, she spit a little bit of oil, smoking a little bit. But she got over there, and biggest victory of all, the mad scientist actually agreed to let us do the motor swap over at his house. Bam! Super freaking killing it. But we ended that last episode with the truck all prepped, sitting on the ground as low as we could get it. A lot of the stuff removed so we could start freaking pulling that engine out. So the next step, I'm pretty sure, is going to be pulling the transmission, getting on a transmission jack, and then we have to pull off the couple little things that are necessary in order to get that engine, be able to come right out of the hood. So let's head on over to the mad scientist's home laboratory and start getting the wrenching, y'all. All right, so Mr. Josh says that the first step is now going to be to start messing with the transmission. So we're going to pull a 4-link bar off, put the transmission jack underneath there, and start working on snaking that transmission out so we can continue with the engine stuff. So while I'm doing that, looks like he's starting to work on pulling the wiring harness out of the engine bay. It's freaking go time, bro.
It's go time.
You excited? You getting woken up now?
Oh yeah, ready to go.
Man, oh boy. All right, y'all, so the transmission is about ready to come out. Josh got all the bell housing bolts off, all the way around, going from the top all the way around the whole bell housing. Got the transmission mount out. Jack shaft came out yesterday. So I don't think there's anything else holding the transmission in. So now we're going to use a ratchet strap to go ahead and lock the transmission to the transmission jack, lower it down, scoot it back off the truck. Then we got to figure out how we're going to get a 1,000-pound transmission out there, which is much lower than the hole. So that way we can send it over to Mr. Steve Moss and he can give it a once over and make sure that I don't have anything prematurely going bad. But we are making some freaking progress, guys. Freaking transmission is pretty much out. It's disconnected and just in time for lunch. But check her out. Pretty freaking cool, yo. Bam. Got my nice super bitch and Suncoast freaking torque converter. Yeah, boy. So we got the transmission out. Now we just got to figure out how we're going to fish it out of there. It's got to go out that hole right there. So now it's lunchtime. But I don't think there's too much more we can even do. We got to get some heavy equipment here to be able to pull the engine out. And once we have that here, disconnect fuel lines, unbolt motor mounts, engine come out. So we're just about there, y'all. So to round out day 2, I'm gonna start pulling everything off this bumper because the powder coat has seen some better days from us dicking around in the mud, doing that little nosing up thing we did with Mr. Allen over the Freedom Factory.
We turned heads, got the parking lot popping with the motor jam. Show up, we show off. We got the
Look at that, yeah, not ideal. Not really sure why it's doing that though. Because when we nosed up, it just did this, messed up the fair lead a little bit there and there, hit a little bit here and there. But as far as like up here, we never even touched that. So I don't know why that's all coming apart like that. So I'm gonna start pulling the lights out, get the hooks off, get the winch out, get my faceplate off. So that way when we get the forklift in here to be able to pull the engine, we can pull that front bumper off too, because that thing weighs a few hundred pounds. So, time to start disconnecting all that. All right, y'all. Well, that is a wrap on day 2 of the Killin It Resurrection Destruction. Whew. lot of damn work. Actually wasn't too bad today though, but we are making really good progress. So a little rundown of where we're at. Did a little bit more work to the engine today. I pulled apart everything in the front bumper, got the old winch out. I think I'm probably gonna end up replacing it because that thing looks a little worked. Got the front faceplate off the bumper, got the hooks and all that nonsense off, got the freaking fog lights out. As far as engine particular items go, we got the transmission lowered down. Just a matter of how we're gonna snake her on out of there. The transmission's off. Got a lot of the wiring harnesses all disconnected or unplugged. Everything that needs to be unplugged from the engine, we got off. The rest we're gonna leave on the motor. So that way when the engine's out and it's sitting here on the ground on an engine stand, we can just have both engines side by side and swap items right on over, route them the same way. We'll be able to check all the wiring harness for any kind of issues that I might have developed throughout the numerous fires that we had in this thing. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on all the prep work to be able to pull the engine out. So the next step, Mr. Brian is going to go talk to a couple of his buddies, our buddy Ricky Skaggs, and then his other neighbor, it's actually his brother-in-law, Lee. Talk to one of them, see if we can borrow either a lull or if we can borrow a forklift. Bring it on in here. And again, I kind of explained this yesterday, but the game plan will be to go ahead and open up that door, get the side-by-side out of here, and we'll pull the forklift right on in. Probably have to pull the hood off, but then pull the engine out. And then we're still kind of deciding, I think before the engine comes out, now that I decided we're gonna go ahead and address this front bumper issue where all the powder coatings got some kind of issues going on with it, we're gonna go ahead and pull this front bumper off. So I'll get that sandblasted and taken care of, but that'll also be out of the way for getting the engine out. But then we're gonna pull the engine out, and then Brian was talking about we might borrow some forklift extensions from my shop over at where we build the motorhomes. I've got some 8-foot long forklift extensions, and we may be able to actually sneak right underneath here to be able to get that transmission out, because that thing is extremely freaking heavy, but we might be able to pull it right out of that freaking hole. So I'm not sure when we're gonna be back at it. It should be within the next couple days when we can get everything lined up with the fork trucks and all. Get over here and start pulling this engine, and then freaking, and it's on to some really super bitchin' stuff. We're gonna freaking keep telling y'all, twin turbskis, those turbskis, freaking twin turbo, fully built Socal diesel freaking racing Duramax. Oh yeah,
Like a twin turbo Duramax Mega Truck?
that is exactly right, Mr. Killin It. Twin turbochargers. It's gonna be a real deal. Real freaking deal. Look at her. All girls coming back to life slowly but surely. All right, y'all. It's a big freaking day in the Killin It world. It's freaking engine pulling time. Oh, yeah. Freaking super pumped up. So, Mad Scientist just called me. He got it all dialed in. We got a forklift over there at his shop, at his home freaking laboratory. And it's freaking time to freaking pull that engine out. Finally that blown up engine is coming out of the freaking truck. Go! You feel it? You feel that in your bones, people? I ask you all the time, you feel it? Feel that tingling in your balls? Super freaking Killin It time. Letting you know, bro. So, just got off work. Got tied up there an extra 2 freaking hours. Oh, freaking dedication. Dedicated employee I am, I tell you that. But getting back over to the Mad Scientist laboratory here momentarily, and it's time to freaking pull some engines. Time to pull some wounded Duramax bald eagles out of the Killin It Mega Truck, and time to get ready to start injecting some freaking super Killin It Duramax bald eagles. Oh man, it's gonna be a good day. It's a good day, Tater. I tell you, a good freaking day. All right, y'all. Hood's getting ready to come off. It's freaking party time. So apparently the fence has to come off so we don't hit Brian's big ass fan. Right, bro? For sure.
says 500 pounds, should be golden.
What? You told me to get an engine stand that was 1 ton capacity.
Not my motor. It's your floor, though.
Yeah, it is your floor. Thanks, Josh. So that scientist just disconnected all the motor mounts. It's time to start pulling some bald eagles out. Right, bro? Right, bro? That's right. Danny even feels it over there. Don't you, Danny?
Danny's not having the ratchet stuff. Yeah. Danny's on probation with ratchets.
Oh, boy. Nothing?
There she is.
None of that. Bunch of broken
It's a
Duramax
big
bald
pile of
eagles.
crap.
Well, it's kind of pile of crap right now, but. Oh shit, son.
Oh, it's freaking go time!
Man, I'm pumped up.
Well, the freaking engine is finally out. Oh, brother, we have an empty engine bay. Go. Got some serious cleaning to do.
Some fire aftermath to take care of.
So this is what a 6.6 liter Duramax LMM engine looks like. Is it what you expected?
Exactly.
Is it? It's exactly what you expected? Getting you so excited you're dropping your nuts. So Danny did point out, it looks like the injectors got a little bit hot. Perhaps they might have seen some better days. What else got burned up on this engine? Oh, the lume is a little ripe. Not too bad though. Really, it ain't all that bad. I don't know why you guys being such a bunch of haters. Yeah, it's a little juiced up. It's not pristine, but it's got 180,000 miles on it. Right, Brian?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. What you got there?
So excited.
I know, dude. Thank you. Hopping all around. So now the mad scientist has got me tapping these holes so that we can get these rods in here so that we can get the engine mounted on the engine stand. Run a little tap through to clean them out because they're all freaking garbaged up and the damn rods don't want to thread in. All right, y'all, last step, the freaking destruction process. Got to get this freaking transmission out of here. I don't know, Brian said it would. All right, y'all, well, the original plan is not going to work. Transmission will not sneak out that front hole because we didn't account for the transmission pan or for the forks. All right, so now we're going out the top.
I don't think I'll have enough boom. Now you going on? No. How much do I need to come up? 2 feet?
You might have it. Here we go. That's all, you made it? Well, y'all, that is a wrap on the Killin It Destruction part of the Killin It Resurrection series. Whew. Freaking tore it up, y'all. Got the transmission out, so we're gonna be putting that in the back of the truck here in the next couple days, taking on over to Mr. Steve Moss, have him go through, give her a little freshen up. Engine bay needs some serious cleaning. That is for damn sure. I'm probably gonna try to do something about some kind of heat shield on that firewall area. And then we're gonna start diagnosing all of the damage that I had had over the years of 180,000 miles. Quite a few dozen freaking truck tugs and mud bogs, 3 fires. Yeah, that engine, she looks a little rough, but she's had a good life. Freaking pretty all in. You know what, I can't hate on this motor. She lasted a long freaking time, lasted through a whole lot of abuse. And as you can tell, you guys can really see how rough she was becoming. So this day was probably a bit overdue, actually. But the truck is all freaking ready to rock and roll. It's time to start making some progress in the positive direction, y'all. It's freaking go time. The next step for moving forward with this whole engine swap process is gonna be to clean this atrocious engine bay because it looks like ass. Let me show you what I mean by ass. She's dirty. Yeah, pretty freaking ragged and gross. Now that's what 180,000 miles of road driving, I guess, road use, and then 3 years of a mega truck, multiple mud bogs, some truck tug of wars, and a very, very, very heavy freaking fuel pedal foot. So that's what happens when you get all that. Well, that's actually what happens when you get all that right there. Freaking charred up. Ugh, very sad engine. It's bloated it up. But this is part of it too. So anyways, moving on. I'm gonna go ahead and start dousing this old girl in some simple green and getting her nice and clean and tidied up so we can start freaking getting forward, making some freaking progressive progress, yo! You know what I mean. So it's clean. All right, y'all. Well, I could tell the time-lapse camera died a couple times. I tried to keep putting fresh batteries in it. So we started getting her all nice and all cleaned up. You guys have the advantage because you'll be able to see the video that I just took. In y'all's world, that was just a few minutes ago. But in my world, that was like hours ago. So you'll be able to see it back to back, the difference. Cut that bracket off that was right there. There's another one that was back there still. There was one that was there. There was one that was under here. Cut those brackets all off and clean the metal up real good. Got everything reinstalled. Probably gonna have to pull everything back off so I can paint it like where all that bare metal is so it doesn't start rusting. but I wanted to put it all back together so I can remember how the hell it went. But yeah, firewall's nice and clean. This side is pretty clean. I mean, I might need to strip it a little bit more, maybe bring some acetone to get the rest of this crap off. But this side is looking actually pretty damn good. Now, I think tomorrow when I come back, I'll just have to start working a little bit more on this side. Maybe try to get these bumper brackets. Might even just pop these off and get them powder coated actually. Or Line-X, that's actually a great idea. Yeah, I think that's actually what I'm going to do is get these Line-X with some black Line-X. But yeah. And it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. Definitely a lot more space now that I cut those brackets off, so that's out of the way. Like, look at how empty that looks now. Looks good. Real good. So, that's where we're at, though, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and call it an evening, and we'll reconvene tomorrow, and we'll keep going forward with the next step. All right, y'all. The engine bay, I think, is about as clean as I'm going to get it. Take a little look. I think she's looking on point. Came back over here this morning, started cleaning out the driver's side of it a little bit better, and started moving some wires around, but I think this is what we're going for. Let me take a little look. Man, all the metal's all nice and clean. That side was already pretty clean yesterday, but I cleaned up down here. And oh yeah, I also noticed, so remember before I was talking about maybe Line-X in these? Well, I freaking didn't realize that apparently when we did the bumper last, we went ahead and powder coated those, that textured black. So that's plenty for our purposes because you're never gonna see this anyway. It's behind the bumper. So I think I'm just gonna leave them like that. There's a little bit of rust forming here, so I might shoot it with just a little bit of paint just over top, but I mean, for the most part, it's good to go. But the rest of the engine bay is looking pretty freaking dialed in, I'm thinking. So the next step, we've got to go ahead and get these bare metal areas painted because they will start rusting as soon as I get them wet. See, that's already kind of rusting a little bit. I think it's because the paint melted off from the exhaust back when we had it together before. So now I'm gonna go through and start taking all these clamps and everything off, these bolts and whatnot, and self-tapping screws. I'm gonna pull them all out of that side, get all that wiring and everything shoved over to the side. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna have to take my orbital valve, somewhat disassemble it, just have it be hanging down there. And then I'm gonna pull the rest of those wires as best as I can, pull them off of the frame so that way I can get to everything to be able to spray it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Then I'll probably clean it up just a little bit more. And then the next step will be spraying it with some primer and spraying it with some of that black Imron paint. So let's get to it. Well, now everything is unbolted and no longer attached to the frame in the areas that I need to repaint it. If you look at everything, I don't have a whole lot of room because I don't want to disconnect everything if I don't have to. But I just got to basically paint that frame rail. I want to do the top of this piece of flat bar. That's part of the frame too. And then I need to do this frame rail. So now it's time to get some acetone and start getting the rest of this. This is like undercoating that's from GMC that we just never got off because the engine was here and in the way back when we first made this into a mega truck. So I'm going to go ahead and start stripping all that stuff off with some acetone and then give it a little scuff and some primer. All right, y'all. Well, time-lapse camera died again. That thing cannot keep up with me. I need to get some extended length batteries to be able to keep up with this battery, you heard me? But anyways, frame is pretty much ready for paint. All I gotta do is mask it off, get to priming and get to painting. Y'all wanna see it? It looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty freaking super bitchin', I tell you. Look at that. Oh, baby. Nice and shiny and purty. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It was kind of a challenge deciding where to stop. Because if you get too carried away, you could just take this all the way back and turn her into frame off. But I'm not trying to do all that. I'm trying to keep in mind the fact that I wasn't planning on painting any of this anyway. So now that we've got it to this area, now I've used zip ties. It looks a little goofy what I got going on. I'm just pulling everything off the frame because I don't want to disconnect everything. There's no, it's not necessary. It's a lot of extra work for a whole lot of nothing. So from this point, I'm thinking tomorrow what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some paper and probably paper from here up, from the frame up, back there up. I'll put paper all underneath this bottom end here, like underneath this cross member, paper that all across, and then paper from here up, there, up, and then I'm gonna get priming, and then I gotta talk to the mad scientist and make sure he's okay with me painting in here, because it might smell a little bit like Emron super gnarly paint in here for a couple days after I'm done. But yeah, that's what we're working with, y'all. As soon as I get some paint on there, then the engine bay is ready to rock for the new motor, except for the heat shield. I gotta figure that out too. I think I wanna get some stick-on heat shield to be able to put all on that firewall. So I'm probably gonna do that this week too, so I need to talk to the mad scientist about that as well, get some recommendations, so we can go ahead and shield that all off, have this painted, so that way when that motor's ready to rock and roll, she'll be ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it an evening. I'm gonna go on home, get some sleep. Tomorrow we'll reconvene, do some priming, do some painting, and the engine bay is ready to rock and roll, and that will be the end of this episode. So let me reconvene with y'all in the morning. See you. Well, not in the morning, afternoon, after work. What's going on, y'all? So we're back at it again. I've been putting in some serious freaking work. I actually came over here on my lunch break earlier today, started masking it off, and then before I got on the video, decided to go ahead and do a little bit more prep work. So now we're looking freaking good, y'all. You ready to see this? Bam! We're all masked off in the engine bay, so I can spray them frame rails where it's all bare metal. And I'm not putting in a regular spray gun. I'm putting in this little like touch-up can type deal. So it shouldn't atomize the paint too much and make it go all over the damn place like a regular spray gun would. So I should be able to direct the paint pretty easily. But boom, look at how freaking sick. So I basically like masked off the entire engine bay and made like a little pocket. So I'm only spraying where I need to spray. So, see, I ran the tape line, like, because the paint is good right on the other side of that frame rail. And I don't really care if there's a hard line up here because there's a fender well that basically covers all of this anyway. So this is mainly just like for prolonging the frame of the truck and keeping it from rusting. But yeah, look at that. Looks pretty damn good. So now that I've got it all prepped, I just went through and hit it all with a scuff pad. Now I need to hit it with a tack cloth and then start spraying some primer. So I need to go mix the primer up, do the tack cloth, and it's go time. That's right, y'all. I had no idea. I was a freaking professional painter on the side, and I'm also a volunteer fireman and amateur tattoo artist. You heard me? Now I am gonna say, as I'm mixing this primer up, the odor is pretty intense. And I warned the mad scientist that his shop might smell a little rowdy after I do this. So this is, I probably should have videoed it when he said it wasn't a big deal. This was gonna be my evidence and my proof, but now it's my word against his. We got our primer getting all super concocted. It's getting there. Keep mixing her up, and then it's time for spray time, bro. Yeah! All right, y'all. Well, just got done laying a little bit of primer, and she looks pretty good. Take a little look at this. Laid all the primer, then I went over and scuffed it. So now I'm just gonna go hit it with a tack cloth, but man, look at it. Great coverage. Absolutely great coverage. So it's all nice and scuffed. Tack cloth and paint. Here we go. We're getting freaking close. Super freaking close. All right, y'all, so I let it sit for a little bit and then gave her another second pretty wet coat, pretty heavy coat. She's looking pretty good. If I say so my mother freaking self. Glossy as hell. Oh, brother. Look at that. Bam. Looking very nice. So I think what I'm probably going to do based on how the paint is acting, I mean, it looks good. I put it on super freaking heavy because I don't care if it runs a little bit. I want really good coverage and I want it to be super thick. So I think I'm going to let this dry. This is probably going to take at least till tomorrow. Yeah, probably till tomorrow at least to dry, maybe even the next day because I put it on so damn heavy. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and let it dry and then we'll see what it looks like. I am noticing that, see how the edges are kind of like revealing themselves a little bit? So what I'm thinking I probably am gonna do, since it's already all masked off and everything, it's this far, I'm gonna let this cure out for a few days and then I'm gonna go back and hit it with a scuff pad and then give it one more final coat. Because when we did that to the axles, they came out really good. They're really wet looking. And I think that's what I want to try to achieve here. So this is kind of lingering a lot because I've been trying to get this video up for the past few days, but I want to have this whole part of the process complete before I upload the video. So I have to drag this out another couple days. So now that you guys are watching this video, you guys maybe are understanding why it took me so long to get this next video up, why there was like over a week lull period where I didn't upload nothing. This would be why. Because, yeah, I'm just not quite finished yet. So I'm going to call it quits tonight, and we'll reconvene on this part of the project probably tomorrow sometime. All right, y'all. I think we are finally going to finish prepping the engine bay today. I'm pretty damn certain. It's all nice and dry. What am I talking about? Y'all want to see? It looks freaking bitchin', I'll tell you. Oh, brother. Not too dissimilar from what it looked like when we concluded last night, except for now it's all dry. So what I'm going to do from here, just go ahead and give it a little scuff and hit it with one more coat, because see how like the edge right there, you can kind of see it's a little bit, yeah, like it kind of, I don't know, like the paint like kind of like falls away from the edge. It's kind of doing it a little bit right here. See right there, the edge looks a little open. So does the edge of that motor mount right there. So I'm gonna go through and give this a quick scuff with a Scotch-Brite pad, go over it with a tack cloth, and then give it one more medium coat of paint. And I think she'll be freaking dialed in after that. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So let me mix some paint and we'll get to squirting. All right, y'all, I just finished the second coat, and second coat's where it's at for freaking sure. Shit is so glossy. You want to see? I'm gonna show you. Freaking real deal. Look at that. So now remember that edge, how it was kind of peeling back a little bit? Not no more. Plenty of coverage. Got super thick coat of paint on her now. Looking real nice. I can dig it. So now we gotta wait for her to dry, and then unmask her and start putting her back together. Freaking dialed in. So I think that's gonna be a wrap on this video of pulling the engine and prepping the engine bay up. We'll go ahead and start doing the demasking process here in a few days when we start getting into some much more super bitchin' details. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all learned a little bit. And as always, thanks for watching, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to check out future videos, subscribe to our channel. Hit that button right there. While you're at it, hit the like button at the bottom of your screen. You can also check out our website, KillinItLifestyle.com. There you can follow the Killin It crew and order your own apparel so everyone will know you're killing it!